Welcome back guys to Ace Creative and another video for you. So recently I bought a stack of expired slide film. I bought I think 5 or 6 rolls of expired slide film to give it a go. Now to be honest with you, I'd never worked with slide film before. This is my first time. For those of you who don't know, slide film is the film that you actually put on slides. You used to take them with you on family holidays, get the negative developed and put it in a slide machine, have a slide night, which was always a lot of fun. Yes. So slide film gets developed in E6 processing, which is different to C41. And there really isn't a whole lot of labs that do that anymore. There's less than a handful here in Brisbane, and it's a little bit more expensive. So I wanted to try the slide film out, which I did. So first things first, the camera I've used to try this slide film out is my Canon Brunette. And look at this beautiful, look at that. Hopefully that picks that up. Maybe if I do that, look at that. So I use this Canon Brunette. I've used this for my first roll of film and I was really happy with the results. I used gold. So I used Ultramax 400 and maybe I'll do a video on that. Actually I have done a video on that. It's my first film video, so I'll link that down below. And I've used this slide film, which is the Fujifilm Provia 100. You probably can't see, but this expired in 1997. Now a general rule of thumb at Provia 100. So the general rule of thumb with expired film is take it down a stop for every decade. So I exposed this at ISO 25. It's roughly right. It's probably one of the lowest I can go on that particular little camera. So let's go through. Now, I talk a lot in this channel about my failures as a photographer. And I might say failures as a bit of a clickbaity thing. Really it's not, it's a learning experience. And anyone that shoots film knows it's a labor of love. And it's it's a cost obviously. It's not always cheap to develop film or buy film. And it takes time. There's nothing instant about it. Even if you do it at home, you have to develop and let your negatives dry and scan them and do the whole bizzo. So this takes about, at the lab I use about a week to develop, and I missed the cutoff date, so I had to wait like 2 weeks to get it back. It was such a long wait to get this particular film back. So I'm not going to call this a failure, but I'll let the photos speak for themselves, and you can tell the film really wanted to take good photos. The compositions aren't particularly good, and to be honest, you probably won't be able to make out a lot of the photos because the film is just in such bad condition. So some tips if you are buying expired film of any type. First of all, because I had this romance in my mind that I'd take these expired films and I'd get these really dreamy, desaturated looks, and some film is like that. But not always the case. So some rules I think to think about if you're buying expired film. Ask whoever you're buying it from, how was it stored? Has it been refrigerated? Was it in a fairly moisture-free environment? Now they might lie through their teeth. You'll never know until you do, until you take your photos. So find out how old it is and find out if it's C41 processing or E6 as this slide film is. And if it is E6, see if there's a lab nearby that can develop it. There's no point in taking E6 film if you're going to have to send it away. It's going to take weeks to get back and risk getting lost in the post. The place I got to develop this cost $24 to develop and $10 to send it to the lab, or $9.50 through Australia Post. So $35 is really, to me, quite expensive for a result that's really kind of inconclusive and really sketchy. So think about labs around. Really think about how you're going to use the film, and think about if the film is old, whatever the box speed is, for every decade you're going to have to reduce the ISO when you're considering. So if you're going to use the film in low light situations, probably forget it. You really want to be able to have the film in really bright light situations, daylight situations, so the film isn't going to have to work as hard, because it does. You will see when you're looking at these photos, the film worked hard and just couldn't colours and just grainy and just, I was a bit disappointed, to be honest with you. So they're probably the 3 things to consider when buying expired film. Certainly I would really, unless you know how to peel off DX codes, I probably wouldn't put expired film in a point and shoot either. I'd probably want to stick to somewhere where you've got some manual controls, just so you can expose the photos a bit better. So the photos would have run through, it's 24 photos of noise, grain, and colours that I'm just really upset about. These photos, a lot of them were taken on overcast days. So I think I took these over a weekend or 2. It was really overcast. The colours aren't there. It's really disappointed. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys can learn mistakes from me, so you don't have to make them. Like I said in the last video, if you liked this video or if you hated it, let me know in the comments below. If you're a film photographer, let me know. If you've got a YouTube channel, let me know so I can check you out and support your channel as well. It's always great to support other YouTubers as well, especially smaller channels that are starting out. So smash the like button. I'm not expecting anyone to like any of the photos because frankly I didn't either. I like the compositions but just not the final photos. If you've had good, bad or ugly experiences with Provia 100 or expired film in general, let me know your thoughts. Apart from that, guys, thanks for joining me. It's been a hoot. Love God, love others, and